Hi, St. Anthony students and families. I hope that you're having a great day. Today, we're going to talk a little bit about mindfulness. And I talk a lot about that in class. We're going to talk about a family mindfulness schedule. This is a way your whole family can get involved with practicing being mindful. And I got a lot of this information from a website called Therapist Aid. So we're kind of be going through all this information, but I just wanted to share my source there. So we're gonna go through the schedule, go through the day, talk about different ways you can practice mindfulness with your family. Well, what is mindfulness? Mindfulness is being focused on the present moment. Mindfulness really helps emotional awareness. It helps reduce stress. It helps reduce anxiety. And parents can help their child achieve mindfulness by modeling this themselves. Well, what if we don't know how to do that? That's what we're going to talk about. So we're going to teach you and your child how to focus on the present moment with mindfulness. So focus on one of these. If you find an exercise you like, maybe start with one and then you can add to that. You can practice that one multiple days and then you could add another one. You can throw out the ones you don't like and you can keep the ones you do like. So the first one we're going to talk about is when you wake up in the morning. Use your five senses. Take a moment to explore the morning through your senses. Take turns listing all the things that you see, hear, you feel, you taste, you smell. Anybody who does counseling with me knows that I use this a lot when we use our senses to kind of ground us, to keep us in the moment, helps reduce anxiety. And that is how this is going to help us with mindfulness, using our five senses. Try to notice things that you would normally tune out, like maybe the buzz of the clock or someone's lawnmower outside, or maybe how soft the pillow is, or different things like that. So you can actually do that any time of the day, but it's really good to do that in the morning first thing. The next one is a body scan. Now, a body scan is when you start with your toes and you work your way all the way up to your head and you notice the sensations in each part of your body. Maybe you notice your clothes resting on your legs. Maybe you notice your muscles are tense. Maybe you notice there's cool air on your face, those type of things. It's kind of a body scan. It lets us check in with our body and know how we're feeling in that particular moment. That is a really good way to start each morning with a body scan. And also, it helps us to be in touch with our feelings. For those of you that remember in class, we've talked about how your body can really give you an indicator as to how you're feeling, right? If you're feeling angry, maybe your hands are clenched, maybe you're gritting your teeth, if your head's starting to hurt, maybe if you're starting to feel nervous, maybe you feel that in your stomach. So a body scan is a great way to practice mindfulness. Let's talk about how you could do mindfulness while you're eating meals. A mindfulness check-in. You can start a conversation about what's going on right now. Have your child share one thing they feel physically. Maybe they feel hunger, right? One thing they're thinking about. Maybe they're thinking about their work, or maybe they got in an argument with a sibling or a friend. And one thing they're feeling emotionally. Maybe they're tired. Maybe they're sad. Maybe they're anxious or overwhelmed. If they have trouble putting their emotions into words, then give them some options to choose from, right? Give them feeling words. Well, do you feel happy or sad? Do you feel angry? Do you feel frustrated? That's a big kindergarten word, right? If you're in kindergarten, you know frustrated. Have a check-in with emotions. This is really good to do for yourself too. And mindful eating. Sometimes I think we just kind of rush through our meals, right? So mindful eating. Remember to eat slowly and mindfully. Notice how the food looks, how it tastes, how it smells. What does it feel like when you're eating it on your tongue? Is it spicy? Is it cold? Take turns sharing different things that you notice about the food, no matter how minor it might seem. Okay, so it's always good to just pay attention to what we're doing. Turn the TV off, put the book away, put your phone down, and focus on the meal. I really like that one. I think that's a good one. Now, the next couple of mindfulness techniques we can use while we are traveling. Maybe we're on the bus. Maybe we're in a car. I know we're not traveling a lot right now, but when you're out and about, I Spy. I Spy is a great way to be mindfulness, to be in the moment. You can really do I Spy anywhere, can't you? Notice your surrounding. Notice things that you might not otherwise see. Maybe when you're out for a walk, maybe you can look at all the things around you and play a really good game of I Spy. And then the alphabet game. I know I played this when my kids were little. We look for words that start with alphabet letters, and then we take turns. So maybe you're out and you're out for a walk and you see a billboard and the sign says advertise. That would be A. Then the next person can find a word with B and C and D, and then you move your way through the alphabet. This is also really good for reading, isn't it? So that's another way to be mindful and in the moment. And we notice our surroundings. It's really important. Now, a few activities you can do. You can do a mindfulness bracelet. I did not have a chance to make one of these, but you can make bracelets that are fun, that are comfortable. You can make them out of yarn. You can make them out of elastic. You can make them out of really anything. You can make them out of paper, right? You can make them out of paper, cut some strips of paper and staple or tape them together. And when you notice the bracelet on your wrist, I want you to take a moment to use all your five senses to see what you can hear and smell and feel. Are you tasting anything? Do you see anything? And then practice that skill for when your student is not with you anymore. That's a really good thing to do to have your child remember that you're always thinking of them, right? I know our principal gives us bracelets sometimes to help us with our prayer. So you can do that, but it also helps us to be in the moment, doesn't it? And then square breathing. Now, if you have been in my classes, you know how I like square breathing. And what you do with square breathing is you imagine a square in your brain. And then when you breathe in, you imagine a line going over the top. So you breathe in, breathe out, go down that square. Breathe in, breathe out. Or there's another way to square breathe too. You could breathe in, hold your breath, breathe out, and then you pause. There's two different ways to do square breathing. Square breathing is a really cool thing for those of us who like to visualize things. We can visualize a square, so square breathing is pretty easy. Now, if you have free time and if you're crafty, another way to do mindfulness is a mindfulness box. Now, here's one that my daughter made, and you can see she decorated it with some stickers and some different things, some different motivational sayings like don't give up, and we can do this together. Have them decorate a box. Now, this one's kind of small because I wanted to be able to get it in the camera, but you can make it as large as you want to, and have several objects in there. Maybe when you're going for your walk, a mindfulness walk, or maybe special things to them. It could be a feather, it could be a rock, it could be a flower, it could be anything like that that's small enough to fit in your box. And then when you're out, you encourage them to pay attention to their surroundings and put things in their mindfulness box. They can look at the texture, the weight, the smell of each item. And then you keep adding to your mindfulness box and you look at it from time to time and you remember kind of where you got the item and the moment that you were in when you got the item, and then try to notice something new about the object. Maybe you didn't really pay attention to some of the colors that were on the object. That helps us stay in the moment. And then the last one I really want to talk about is progressive muscle relaxation. This is great to use at bedtime. It's great to use anytime you're feeling anxious. And we have talked about progressive muscle relaxation in classes, and we also talk about it in my office sometimes with students who are particularly anxious or nervous, or worried. And there's a couple different ways to do this, but the way I really like to do it is I really like to pay attention to your breathing too. I like to start with my toes. And what I do is you crinkle up your toes. You can't see, but you crinkle up your toes and you count to 3 and then you relax your toes. Okay. And then maybe you do your whole foot and you do it for 3 seconds, crinkle it up, make those muscles tight, and then you relax it. And you go all the way up your body, relaxing, tensing and relaxing the different muscles. And then at the very end, you do your whole body where you tense your whole body up for 3 seconds and then you relax it. Progressive muscle relaxation is really a way that helps us aware of our body, how our body's feeling, and it's a really good way to get our bodies ready to go to sleep. So those are some mindfulness techniques you can use. You can put yourself on a mindfulness schedule, maybe practice one in the morning and one at night, or you can do whatever works for your family. If you find any that are particularly useful, then use them. If you find some that aren't very useful, then you can throw them out, right? So let me know how you're doing. You can always have your grown-ups email me. Let me know how your progressive muscle relaxation is going and your deep breathing and your square breathing and your mindfulness box. If you make a mindfulness box or a bracelet, you can send a picture through your parent. That would be wonderful. And I hope you find some of these techniques useful, and I will see you soon. Have a great day.